Hello and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Draws Characters as an excuse to buy Pokemon cards. Today I opened this Surging Sparks booster pack. I pulled a Precious Trolley, which is nice, but moving that quickly to the side. I had a look through the Pokemon and I chose out 3 of these guys, which I thought would make some pretty cool female wrestlers. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get into it! I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what I'm doing. We're going to start with Quaquaval. Really, what got me onto female wrestlers was looking at Quaquaval and Ceruledge. Gosh, Pokemon names. I don't know. Ceruledge. What got me onto this idea really was looking at Quaquaval and Ceruledge, and I just thought that they would have a really good rivalry. I think that they're kind of fairly good counterparts, really, typing-wise, and I wanted to play up a wrestling kind of rivalry. And so that was my jumping off point for these female wrestlers. Quaquaval's pretty human-like anyway, so some of the elements were really easy to translate. The pose took a long time for me to nail for this character. You see me sketching it for a while, and then I sketch over it again, because I didn't like it. I really wanted her to seem flamboyant and bouncy, and even though she's really tough, she's light on her feet and will dance around the ring. I thought that would really fit with the character of Quaquaval. I had a really clear idea of the hairstyle that I wanted to give her. I wanted to weave in some of these feather motifs, and I really liked the idea of giving her flares like Quaquaval really has. So it was a no-brainer. I tried to sort of skirt the edge of Gajinka and something that could potentially exist in the Pokemon world as just like a tribute to this Pokemon, and ultimately I am pretty happy with where she ended up with her outfit, her style, and I think the pose worked out alright in the end. Moving on to Ceruledge, I went for a bit more of a bulky wrestler, and the helmet that Ceruledge has, it just felt so obvious to make it a luchador mask, and so that was the angle that I went for this character. I didn't want her to be too armored, but I still wanted to keep some of those elements of the character. Obviously, she's not going to have swords for hands, but there were still lots of other elements from the Pokemon that I could include here, like the breastplate, the big boots, and I played around with the shoulder pads, and a little bit of asymmetry there as well, and eventually settled on just one big gauntlet, or is that the wrist thing? I wanted to say pauldron, but I was like, cauldron? And I knew it wasn't that. A pauldron. I kept the pattern of the luchador mask pretty much just Ceruledge pattern. I added some little fabric flames off the eyes and gave her a ponytail that I think captured the essence of flame coming off Ceruledge's head. I liked this crouching down pose. She's ready to tussle, she's ready to go, and she's gonna try her darndest to get Quaquaval to the floor. Colors were pretty straightforward on this one as well, just basically slapping on Ceruledge colors, but I'm really happy with how she turned out. Dhelmise was a little bit of a curveball, I suppose. It's weird to have 2 very human Pokemon and then just be like, oh yeah, and I'm going to do this anchor as well. But for some reason I think sets of 3 are just really nice, so I wanted to do another one here. And even though Dhelmise isn't human-like, it's still got a lot of features that were really fun to include. I did a hairstyle that was inspired by the seaweed on Dhelmise's face and gave her a cool undercut. I wanted to wrap some more green fabric around the legs and arms that would be inspired by the seaweed, and then I had a bit of a look around other sorts of wrestling outfits, and so many of them are really skimpy, and I just had to. This is a bikini, but she walks in with a very cool brown leathery jacket with a Dhelmise spray painted directly on the back. I thought that would be really cool, and that's why I went with this pose, looking at her as she walks in. She's got the glasses that look like Dhelmise's eyes, and I gave her some typical wrestling shoes and transferred over some of the colors and patterns from Dhelmise on this as well. I love Dhelmise. It's sort of shot up into my favorite Pokemon fairly recently, I think. But it's really cool, and I think that this character does Dhelmise justice. She's got attitude. So there you have it. There are 3 new Pokemon wrestlers who exist in... Listen, I don't know any Pokemon terms. I don't know what WWE stands for. I assume one of them's wrestling. I was gonna guess World Wrestling Entertainment, but does that make sense as a phrase? I guess so. PWE. That doesn't sound very good. We'll workshop it. I'd love for you to choose a Pokemon and make a wrestler. I want to see it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you when I want more Pokemon cards.